Good afternoon. My name is Alex J. Martinez. I have the honor and the privilege to have been leading the Peruvian American Community Center in Stamford, which was founded in 1992 by Mr. Representative Willie Giraldo, who raised the first flag behind us here in Columbus Park. I was lucky as a boy to be one of those young boys who assisted Mr. Giraldo in raising that flag. And this announcement today is an announcement that he has tirelessly worked for decades. I've worked on it for 3 years personally, and I'm a little exhausted, but it shows you the energy that Mr. Giraldo has, an undying energy for his people, a passion for both his country here in the United States and his patria, as we call it, in Peru. The culmination of today is that the Honorable Michael Pavia is going to be traveling to Peru to formally sign a sister city agreement with the mayor of Peru. The agenda for our mayor is we've developed an agenda which is both political and economic. He will be meeting with the Peruvian American Chamber of Commerce, which is a national chamber of commerce throughout Peru. The Director of Economic Development for the city will be giving a presentation to the Peruvian American Chamber of Commerce Board of Directors, and also they will give vice versa a presentation to us. It's incredibly important at this time, since Peru and the United States have a free trade agreement, and we see Stamford, with the leadership of our mayor, being at the forefront of trying to develop these relationships and taking advantage of these free trade agreements economically, especially with the Peruvian American Chamber of Commerce, which comprises of individuals throughout the entire nation of Peru. And I think it is a tremendous, great opportunity for our city to explore economic development. Also, the mayor will be meeting with the International Italian Brotherhood, Circolo Italiano, who will host the mayor for a dinner. He will be meeting with the Speaker of the House for the Republic of Peru and several key cabinet ministers, both in mining, agriculture, and also exploration. We have a tentative meeting with the President of Peru that is being confirmed today. He is in Asia with President Obama. His office knows about our arrival. They have contacted us and shown incredible interest in meeting with the mayor, and have indicated as of this afternoon that they will make whatever time is available to meet with the mayor. And then on Friday there is the formal signing at the Municipal Palace in Lima, where the mayor will meet privately with the mayor of Lima to go over some issues that both the city of Stamford and her can explore. And then there will be a formal signing followed by a reception. The members of the mayor's delegation is City Representative Willie Giraldo, City Representative John Malazzi, the Director of Economic Development Lori Ochuban, Mr. Nino Antonelli, who is the co-chairman of the Mayor's Multicultural Council. Also, Mr. Gautier Bellet, who is co-chairman of the Mayor's Multicultural Council. Also will be going is myself as president of the Peruvian American Community Center, Ms. Carmen Parkington, who is our Director of Public Relations, and also Ms. Sadie Palma, who won the award of Exterior Proudness of Peruvians Abroad and was awarded a medal by President Humala last year. Also, Ms. Gladys Rojas, who is a businesswoman here in Stamford, Connecticut, of Ladies Beauty Salon, and also directed and founded the first Mrs. Latina of Connecticut, which gives scholarships to young women entering college. Also, will be somebody from my law offices be going, and it should be a very, very good start to a very good. And also Michael Handler, who is also from the direct Office of Operations, will be going as a representative, Mr. Bobby Valentine. It is important to note this is a first step And I want to personally and on behalf of the Peruvian community here in Stamford and all Hispanics in this city and all citizens want to thank Mayor Pavia for his incredible vision, his incredible willingness to keep this going and to culminate it in such a historic event. It really, really is a historic moment that we all can be proud of, and I want to deeply thank him for his vision and his determination. Without further ado, the Mayor of the City of Stamford, the Honorable Michael Pavia.
Thank you, Alex. Thank you very much, Alex. I appreciate that. I just want to say that it was barely 3 or 4 days after taking office that I had a visit from Mr. Willie Geraldo, and he brought with him a agreement document that was signed by the then Mayor Malloy, and it was the Peruvian mayor in 2009. And what he was saying to me at the time was, it's very important that we complete the sister city agreement by having the Peruvian delegation come to the United States and sign here in Stamford is only one half of the process. So he asked, and over the last several months we've been planning to complete the actual formal document to where Stamford, Connecticut and Lima, Peru would become formal sister cities and entitle each other to all of that what is afforded by that or accorded by that. He did not let up for a week, and he reminded me over and over again that we need to complete this. So here we are on the eve of our departure, and I am looking so forward to meeting with the Peruvian mayor, Peruvian congressional delegation, and other Peruvian citizens to let them know not only what a great city the city of Stamford is, and it's now their city, but also what wonderful people the Peruvian Americans are that live in our city. So I'm doing that on behalf of both, and it's my pleasure to do so. We have assembled with us an excellent delegation. They represent different walks of life and the different fabric of the city of Stamford that we will be bringing to Peru and introducing the people of Peru to. And it's very important that they see what we are in the city of Stamford in terms of many of the people who have left Peru to relocate here and why they've relocated here. The mayor, Susana Villaran de la Puente, okay, I have to brush up a little bit more on my, has graciously invited us, and we have most honorably agreed. So we're gonna, as I mentioned, we will be leaving. We'll talk about free trade agreements between the U.S. and Peru. Stamford is taking the lead in fostering those relationships. And can you imagine in these struggling economic times what that would mean to both Peru and to the city of Stamford? Our Director of Economic Development, Laura Obashan, will be presenting an economic development overview and the value proposition of the city of Stamford so that we will complete the attractiveness of Stamford abroad. I'm happy to answer any questions you might have or talk a little bit more in detail, or I'd like to offer the delegation who would be more than willing to share their reasons why they've embraced becoming a delegate and why they feel it's appropriate for them to represent the city of Stamford in Lima, Peru. Thank you.
That agreement is only economic or cultural?
Thank you. It is economic and cultural, and thank you for pointing that out, Maria Carmen. I forgot to mention that. One of the major components of having our Multicultural Council attend the delegation or be part of the delegation is so that we can explain and show the different kinds of ethnic diversity that we have in the community and what it does for our city. And I know Peru has a very strong cultural and ethnic diversity as well.
How's it being paid for?
How's what being paid for?
The trip.
The individual flights or the?
Individual flights. The whole
I know what you're hoping I say, but the answer is each and every member of the delegation is paying for their trip in its entirety, 100% with their own personal funds.
Do you know how many people from Peru live in Stamford?
I don't, but maybe Willie can answer that. How many people in Peru?
In Peru, there's almost 7,000 people.
7,000.
No. Oh, no, you're talking about here in Stamford? Yeah, 7,000.
How many in Peru?
In Peru, we're almost 30,000. 30 million.
30,000 only in this household.
I'm going to get Willie to cash a check for me later.
No, it's around 7,000 in the city and 30 million in Peru.
Okay, thank you.
Is it possible that it change to the culture programs and economic programs with Lima and Stamford? It changes or no?
Oh yeah, absolutely. That's one of the main components of this delegation. It's one of the points that we intend to deliver.
Can you give an example of a way that an outcome from this trip that would, relate their economic, something in Lima to Stamford, what would be a possible outcome?
Yes. Unfortunately, because of the timing, we've had some of our original delegation cannot attend this preliminary trip, but they intend to follow up. And those are people in business in Stamford that are small business people. For example, the Burkhoffs who run BevMax are developing an importing business as well as an exporting business. The next wave of a delegation from Stamford will include those people.
There's also, if I may, Mr. Ray, there's also the mayor has reached out to the University of Connecticut, has spoken to Dr. White,
Right.
and also Dr. White from the UConn Satellite Here's campus has shown an incredible interest in being part of the delegation. They couldn't travel now, but they have extended their support to Mayor Pavia, and actually there is a position that the University of Connecticut has that they funded for international provost to do exact interchanges between the University of Connecticut and other countries. So this couldn't have come at the best time. So she has indicated and is giving me materials to bring with me to give to some universities we made contact. We'll bring some materials back also. So those kinds of exchanges will start happening. And as the mayor said, this is a first step. And we plan on inviting the mayor of Lima to come here with her delegation, hopefully in July or sometime in the summer. And then hopefully there'll be another delegation to go back to Lima with some more other delegates that can expand what Lori Achaban has discussed with the Peruvian American Chamber of Commerce and also the UConn component.
And Marty, just to follow up on your question and what Alex just said, we had originally intended to get everyone together in one visit, and we quickly realized that that's going to be impossible. So rather what we're going to do is break it up into 2 or 3 separate delegations, one of which will be heading back, I believe, within 6 months, Willie. But as Alex pointed out, the delegation covered every single component, strength of the city of Stamford, and what each of those selected people were going to do and will still do in this delegation is emphasize areas of interest that are important to them. For example, Dr. White would have gone, but her schedule is just terrifically busy this time of year, but she will attend at some later date, bringing with her curriculum of the University of Connecticut and how the exchange program between the University of Connecticut and Peru can actually manifest itself. There are other things in terms of art and culture that are similar in that regard as well.
Does Peru have a big public university system?
Yes, it does. So there's both private and there's also University of San Martin, right, Willie? Yep. Who's very big. We have made contact with a university in Lima that already has agreements with Princeton and Rutgers. And they have shown a strong willingness to do something with Stamford. That is the university that I intend on delivering documents from UConn and bringing some documents back. But yes, they're
University of San Martin.
Yes, and I can give you that information of that university after. I don't have the specific spelling, but we do have a contact there. who has shown an interest. And we want to get to that point where students from Peru could come and study at UConn. UConn students study there. I was very blessed that when I went to the University of Connecticut, I got to study in University of Granada in Spain. I want students from here to have the same experience in my country where I was born, in Peru. So that's where we hope to get to.
And it's also high school students. We will be introducing the Spanish clubs to high school students in Peru, and hoping to establish an email list where they can communicate back and forth with each other. That'll be a connection which, although it exists on a personal basis, does not exist on a formal one. So it'll be high school students directly with high school students.
They have limited the time, couple years, 1 year, how long is the sister project? For so many years?
The sister project is forever.
Forever.
Yes.
Who wants to inspection? The Peruvian community, the mayor office, or who wants to focus on this?
Actually, it's both Lima, Peru, and Stamford, Connecticut. Lima, Peru is an extremely prestigious city and known throughout the world. And you know what? So is the city of Stamford. So I think we have mutual interest between the two of us, and I think you'll also find that they are as attracted to the city of Stamford as we are to Lima, Peru. And I think that combination of things creates a dynamic partnership.
Are you planning to invite them to Stamford, Mr. Mayor?
I'm sorry?
I can hear you.
Planning to invite them to Stamford?
Yes, one of the things that we will be laying on the desk of the mayor of Lima, as well as any other members that we meet in the different delegations, an invitation to come to the city of Stamford. We don't want to do it now. We want to wait until the weather will be more accommodating, like spring or summer. As you know, it's spring in Lima, Peru right now.
Yeah,
Just like Saturday.
it's like here. It is just like here.
I spoke to Alex. He mentioned that there might be people in the cabinet that have to do with the mining.
Yes.
I'm wondering, can you expound on that at all? Like whether there's corporations here that would be interested in raw materials in like a broader sense from Peru, or what might be?
Yes.
Expound on that.
One of the problems that Peru is suffering right now, I think, is exploitation mining, where there are very few controls on for example, the gold mines. People are heading out into the Amazon regions of the country that are remote and basically strip mining large tracts of land. I think some of the mining techniques and the restoration techniques that we have here in this country will help that. I mean, it's right now a matter of enforcement in Peru, but I think as it works its way out, where the government begins to offer more and more mineral rights, that you'll see more controls in place.
So after you and Peru, this agreement is a start, or is it start now? When it start the agreement?
Well, there was a mutual agreement between the cities to have this agreement between the Malloy administration. The Pavia administration is actually having the formal signing with the mayor. So there was mutual letters of agreement or engagements, but this is historic because our mayor will be traveling, will be in the municipal palace, where there will be a formal signing in a public forum. Ceremony will be covered nationally. On Saturday, the Radio Peru did an interview with Representative Geraldo. It was broadcast both nationally in Peru and internationally. So already there is momentum of seeing this culminating historic event happen. But the signing will take place between both heads of our municipalities on the 18th at noon, and that is in both in English and Spanish, and it's very historic. And as the mayor said, he will invite the mayor from Lima to come here for a reciprocal kind of meeting and maybe a ceremonial signing. But the signing, solidifying the agreement, is happening on the 18th. In the press packs you will see there's both examples of the final English and Spanish version of the agreement that Mayor Pavia and the Mayor of Lima will sign on Friday the 18th.
When are you leaving?
Some of us are leaving tonight. An advanced group is leaving tonight, and the rest of us will be leaving tomorrow night. And we will be back on the ground here in Stamford on Saturday mid-morning.
Have to leave from the parade.
Parade, yes, Sunday, yeah.
That's why he's coming back earlier for the parade.
Sandy, if you're listening, that's
Yes.
why we're coming back early.
Well, it seems like you're gonna have a lot of work over there. Do you have enough? Are you gonna have enough time within your schedule to meet all your expectations?
It's an extremely compressed schedule. We'll meet all of our expectations. What we won't, we'll have very, very little time to walk around the streets and see some of the sights there. But because of the anticipation of a Stamford delegation arriving in Peru, as you can well imagine, our time, there's a great deal of competition for our time, and there's a lot of people that want to meet us, and we can't deprive them of that.
And we will, by the way, we have a film crew in Lima that's going to be filming the mayor's trip. And what that'll happen is we plan to have that documentary presented to all the people of Stamford, either at the Ferguson Library or at UConn, so that everyone in the city of Stamford can see this historic event that the mayor is undertaking.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. ¿Van a hacer tu presentación ahora?
Alex, can you announce? Flor está aquí, está invitando.
Okay. Also, I just wanted to announce that couple things. As you see the Peruvian flag flying above us here at Old Town Hall, the flag will stay flying here during the time that the mayor is in Peru, symbolizing our presence in Peru. And also, I wanted to invite everyone, and the press is welcome, at Fiesta's restaurant, which is co-owned by Flor Mercado over here, and also Alberto Rojas, who is a big co-owner of Fiesta's, a long-standing friend of the city of Stamford and of the Peruvian community, are hosting a toast in their restaurant a block away here on Fiestas, and some light hors d'oeuvres to kind of culminate the celebration of this historic event. Thank you very much. Yes. Yes. Oh, Willie. Hold on. He has his flags for him. Willie, we have his awards for him.